And student advisor. Let us begin the program with the blessings of God, the God Dhanvantri, the first God of doctor, physician to all other gods. We are going to become doctors. So let us take the blessings. I request all of you to rise for Dhanvantri prayer. Thank you. Please take your seat. Dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, parents online and students, I welcome you all today. A very good morning. At the outset, I would like to congratulate all the students who have cracked the entrance examination. Of course, it was your hard work, dedication, and some kind of a strategy that you could crack the exam like a warrior. Like in Mahabharata, epic Abhimanyu cracked the Chakravyuh. You have also cracked it. And he cracked it at the age of 16. And he was really ferocious and very difficult to control. But he did not know how to come out of this Chakravyuh. He could enter very successfully. Because when he was in the home, he heard the strategy from his father, Arjuna. So like that, you are entering in a war zone. With some strategy you have cracked and heard. But then if you don't further listen to your teachers, advisors, seniors, probably it will be a difficult war to come out of it. It's not the warning, it's an understanding. That sometimes it is easy to enter in the race, but difficult to complete it or come out of it. Of course, your first teacher was your own parents who was behind you. Then subsequently now when you have come, you will have your teachers, you will have advisors here. So let us listen to these teachers and advisors. To begin with, I call upon student advisor, Dr. Lata. She is the senior professor of Gynae, and also I've been told to first to lend the light. So first we will lend the light. I'm forgetting. So I request dignitaries to lend the lighting as a customary to inaugurate the program. I request the director sir, dean sir, medical superintendent, and student advisor to light the lamp. One or two students can come on the dais. One girl, one boy. Be a part of this JIPMER family, which you are joining now. Come fast. Some of the faculty and associate dean can join as sir is calling. Thank you, sir. So what I was telling is that please listen to your teachers and mentors. And we have 5 speakers here holding the highest position in the JIPMER, and one or the other way they will guide you. So first I am starting with the Dr. Lata. She is a senior professor of Gynae. She will be taking your classes also during your MBBS. Madam, please, as a student, madam is very dynamic, young, easily approachable. You can always come to her with any issues. Madam, over to you.
Very good morning to everyone, respected director, dean, academic, dean research, MS. First of all, congratulations to all of you, and most importantly, your parents, because they are the ones who are being responsible to shape you to this level. From now onwards, it's our journey together. Welcome to JIPMER. I would claim that I want to confess that I am a student of JIPMER myself. I have been here for past 37 years, senior to many of the people sitting here, except Dr. Tate. So I've joined this institute in 1986. As an MBBS student, I pursued my post-graduation here, did my senior residency, a very short stint. I had spent some time at Bangalore, that's at St. John's. Then I wanted to get back to my alma mater. So I'm here in front of all of you. Yeah. Most importantly, I would like to say you're in a very safe institute, but safety doesn't mean 100% will be taken care of by us. You're also equally responsible for the safetiness both in the campus and outside the campus. Pondicherry is a very beautiful place. Everyone would like to explore. But at the same time, beaches are beautiful. I would say better than maybe Goa too. Only thing is they're very deep seas. Sea is very deep, so don't venture too much into the depth. Don't go out too much late in the nights. Try to be back before 10 or 11 in the institute. Yesterday I met some of you in the hostel. So I did give some advice regarding the hostel. I won't say about that. First and foremost, don't get scared of your seniors. They're your friends. After all, for the next 5.5 years of your life, you have to spend with your colleagues, your classmates and seniors. If they talk to you, be happy that someone is talking to you, because whatever small issues you have, whether it is health, whether it is academics, whether it's cultural, sports, they are the ones who are going to immediately help you rather than your teachers or your parents. I'm not saying we won't, but they are the immediate help. So even if someone asks you to sing or something, it's nice. This is because they want to search for some inbuilt talents you have. We have lots of programs happening in JIPMER. Of course, but academics are at the top, but we do have cultural, we do have sports, we do have a lot of things happening around. So you are busy all the time, either with academics or co-curricular activities. So showcase your talent in everything. Give equal importance. Of course, as I said, studies are important. Don't bunk one for the other. Everything is equally important. You need to stay fit. We have a lot of outlets in campus to eat, but mess is the best. So join the mess and don't eat too much outside. It's not, I don't, once in a while it's okay, but not every day. Mess is quite good, and you will be involved in a lot of committees, especially when it comes to the co-curricular activities. So that your seniors will tell you. You'll be having hostel days. For that, you'll have committees in the hostel too. So enjoy your stay here. Okay, and most important, communicate well with your parents. Don't, if you feel upset or anything at any point of time, please contact your friends, your teachers, your parents. And now communication is very easy. Anytime you can always communicate with your parents, and you're all adults. I don't think we need to tell you small things. You know how to take care of yourself. But decide, I mean, you have to decide whom to trust, whom not to trust. That is very, very important. Just don't get carried away by sweet talk of people around you. So if anytime, any problem, we are always there. I'm always there to help you. If I'm not, you're not reaching me on phone, you please drop in a message, WhatsApp message. I'm always on it. So I'll be seeing what's happening around. So take care of yourselves, be happy, all the very best, and welcome back once again. Get up early so that you reach hospital, I mean college before time. Your JAC is administrative, academic center is very close to the hostel. Walking is very important. If you want bicycles, but I will not give any permission for buying vehicle, at least in the first few years. So please walk or use cycle, that's more than enough. You need permission, right? That you're staying residency certificate even to buy a vehicle, which we will not give you people, that I am very clear. So campus is very good to walk. Get up early so that you can come fresh to the college and not just come in, jump out of the bed and enter the college. That is not correct. Okay. Have a great time and get involved in all the activities, good activities, and stay safe. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you, madam, for this general strategy, which is definitely going to help people. Now, the next strategy will be from our senior professor of urology and medical superintendent, Professor Rajan, because early clinical exposure will be going to various hospital blocks while your postings will be there. You may fall sick, you need ambulance, various helps will be required. You must be aware that sir is there to always help you, sir. You guide them.
Thank you, Dr. Chitria. Respected Director, Professor Rakesh Agarwal, Dean, Dr. Vikram Khati, Dean Research, Dr. Thapa, Student Advisor, Dr. Lata, Registrar Academic, Professor Chitoria, other officers of the academic section, faculty members, and dear students. At the outset, I congratulate all of you for qualifying for tough entrance exam and your parents for having invested on you their effort in various ways. It's indeed a proud moment for all of you, and I think you should enjoy the moment. JIPMER is one of the finest institutions in the country, and I'm sure you and your parents should be justifiably proud of it. As Professor Chitoria has already said, you will be having early clinical exposure, so you'll be going to the hospital. And I can tell you that this is one of the finest hospitals in the country as well. It has 2,200 beds and all types of super specialties. It has the latest diagnostic technologies and therapeutic equipment in the institution, on par with some of the institutions in the world. So you will indeed be major beneficiaries of this technology, although you might feel that maybe this is not important in MBBS, but yes, it will kind of inspire you. A few points that I'd like to mention: when you go to the hospital, you must keep in mind that you need to be well dressed, because your appearance is very important. As college students, people think it's cool to have jeans, t-shirts, or something like that. But that's a strict no in the hospital environment, because the patient would like to see you as dignified doctors rather than students. And that will actually help you. You will learn how to deliver care with compassion and competence. You will also use the environment, and your teachers will teach you about soft skills like communication, social skills, honesty, integrity, and adherence to ethics. I hope you will imbibe all these while you are in the hospital. But a lot of it will be told to you over the next 4.5 years or 5.5 years, including internship. So I will leave it for the other teachers. Just a few other words, nothing to do with the hospital, and that is, I have encountered some students get a little unhappy with, because you come from all over the country from diverse states. You come from schools which are relatively homogeneous. Somebody comes from Andhra Pradesh, everybody speaking Telugu. Somebody comes from Uttar Pradesh, where everybody speaks Hindi. And when you come here, you come across virtually representatives from all parts of the country. So there will be cultural differences, there will be food differences. Some of the students from the north have said that the chapati brings them to tears in the hostel. Okay, so there will be adjustment problems. So as Professor Lata said, please stay in touch with your parents. Okay, if you have something that you're not happy with, contact her or contact any one of us. Also, even though Dr. Lata expressed a word of caution about eating outside, I think you can explore a little more liberally Pondicherry cuisine. There are a variety of restaurants outside. In case you don't like the food in the mess, please go ahead and explore. You'll have to work very hard, without doubt. It's a lie that when people say you work hard, better in the 12th standard, and then you get admission into JIPMER and your life is made. That's a lie. Okay, so you will have to continue working hard, and all the suggestion that I can give is, when you keep working hard, it becomes a habit. So you no longer find it a burden. So continue working very hard. You can't afford to relax, but you must relax moments in a day, moments in your semester. So JIPMER has a lot of opportunities like gymnasium, basketball courts, volleyball courts, badminton courts, swimming pool, etc. A lot of opportunities. There are a whole lot of events that you people organize, like inter-class and inter-college festivals, about which the dean will and the director will tell you more. So on this occasion, I congratulate you once again, wish you all the best in your career. I hope you emerge as great doctors and a very pleasant stay here. Thank you.
JIPMER is a teaching institution known for the excellence in academics and research. The name itself says research institute, and you can embark on it right from the beginning, when you will be given ICMR projects, DST projects. There will be some mentors, there will be some guide who will be assigned to you, or you can approach. These are the part of the activities you will be involved in research. And for that, Dean Research Senior Professor of Dermatology, Professor Thapa is there. You can always visit to his chamber with appointment. in the admin block, first floor. Sir, I wish you could please further guide. whatever I do. So over to you, sir, Professor Papa.
Good morning, everyone. Respected Director, Professor Rakesh Agrawal, Dean Academics, Professor Vikram Kate, Medical Superintendent, Professor Alan Rajan, Student Advisor, Professor Lata Chaturvedala, our Registrar, Professor Ravi Kumar Chitoria, our faculty members, and dear students, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I must congratulate you for entering this a premier institute. It's a dream come true for some people. As you know, what is the name of this institute? Can anybody tell full? We call it as JIPMER, but what is the full name? So ending with the research. Okay, so the research is an important component of this. Okay, so for faculty, research is a must. For student, research is optional. But if you want to do something later on and want to pursue your career as a teacher, so you should have a component of research in this thing. So during MBBS, as Dr. Chitoria was enlightening you, that there is a student projects which you can do either as a part of the ICMR funded projects or the JIPMER intramural fund which is being given to you people. You can use that fund to do some kind of research in JIPMER. We also inculcate the writing skills because research done, unless it is communicated, it is not having meaning to it. Okay, and it will not give you a standing. The standing will come only because of when you publish the articles. And then we also give you the opportunities to conduct a conference called Connaissance. Connaissance, where you learn basic skills, you learn also the research, the activities, how it can be conducted. You learn many things from that activities. And besides that, there are other activities which are happening in the institute. You can partake into it. There is a research day where you can make presentations and you can earn a reward for that also. So there are rewards given for the research. Okay, so you can get a reward as well as award, means both monetary as well as some kind of a certificate is also given for that. So with these few words, I again congratulate you and welcome you all to JIPMER and wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. It is all about academics. Internal exam, external exam, internal assessment, and then vacation, all rules, regulations, punishment. Everything comes under the academics, headed by Dean Academic, Senior Professor of General Surgery, Professor Patil. And with him, there are 4 associate deans. Professor Elamudan, who is also from General Surgery, he is on duty. And also we have Dr. Madhusudan, Senior Professor of and HOD of Nuclear Medicine, he is also on duty. And we have 2 more associate deans, Professor Rakhi from Microbiology. Madam, just you can stand and Right. Madhu, you always go the second time, last year also. You should be the first one. Okay, please identify yourself.
Sir, I have already met them yesterday.
Yeah, I know. Madam is there.
Hello, good morning to you all and welcome. I'm Dr. Rakhi Christmas, Associate Dean at Academy. So any problems, any issues, anything you would like to share with me, you're always welcome. Thank you.
Hello, myself, Dr. Gladwin, Professor of Anatomy. Congratulations to all. We'll meet and then interact soon.
An opportunity that some of the head of the department are here. It's nice to madam introduce. And you must have started the classes. Yeah. You know, Dr. Suma, senior professor of head of the department of anatomy. Madam from physiology, head of the department. Neil Kumari, madam, Dr. Sharbari, madam, actually, and we have assistant registrar actually working ground. Whenever you come, you first reporting to the academic section. She will immediately direct you to which seat you should go and get your guidance, whether it is a hostel, whether it is a leave, whether it is a medical bona fide certificates. Whenever you need any issue, first you have to go to the academic section. Don't try directly go to the dean, sir. They will guide and then you get an appointment accordingly. Also, we have
Dr. Dharmaraj from Department of Anatomy, additional professor. Thank you, welcome.
and so we have some of the academic staff. Mr. Silverman is there. Prabhakaran is there. There is an entire section from examination section and also the academic section, which when you will actually physically come, you will be interacting with them. So now, sir, I would request our Dean Academic Professor Kate to address the students.
Yes.
Light, one of the lights can be done. Very good morning to everybody, and you've already been congratulated by everybody in the morning. And once again, I also take the opportunity for congratulating your parents, congratulating you for coming and joining JIPMER, and it's a big warm welcome. Being as a Dean Academic of this institute, and welcome this batch of 2023. And we have with us all the dignitaries of this institute, esteemed director, Professor Rakesh, medical superintendent, Dr. Salim Durai, the body administrative, Dean Research, Professor Papa, student advisor, Professor Lata, our registrar, who's professors of plastic surgery, Dr. Chitoria. And we have already met the associate deans, Dr. Gladwin, Dr. Minister, Dr. Rafi, Dr. Inaugural, and Mark today. Esteemed faculty members, who I've already said a hello to you. Proud parents who are online and who are on the link, and I'm very proud to see the awards here in this hall, in this audience of this prestigious institute, the staff of academic and exam wing, and last but not the least, the brilliant minds of future. Welcome to the esteemed journey of becoming medical professionals.
So this is the institute. This is a photograph taken 2 days back for the presidential visit. And I'm very sure that this pivotal moment in your lives to step into the portals of this prestigious institute will be one of the lifetime events as far as your journey is concerned. Medicine, as we know, it is not just a profession. I'm very confident, very sure that many of you have not joined because you have to join a medical college, or you have to join a college, or you have to join a profession. You must be having that inner feeling, that desire to become a doctor at some point of a time in school or in your college, 11, 12. And that is why you are here. So that when you go through the process of becoming a doctor, when you are becoming a budding doctor, it's very important that you have empathy, perseverance, and unwavering commitment. That is what was referred to you about Chakravyuh. When you enter it inside, it is very important that you have a very successful journey inside the Chakravyuh and you successfully come out of it. That is what is very important. The path ahead will test your knowledge, fortitude, and character. Definitely. It's an institute, as I said, which is not easy to crack the exam and get into. You will face a lot of challenges, but remember, it is through overcoming these challenges you will truly evolve and excel. Just few days back, we had an alumni meet here, and we had people coming from 1973 batch, and we have people coming from 1998 batch, the silver jubilee and the golden jubilee batch. All of them, when we interacted with them, we found out they're excelling in their respective fields. As we learn the intricacies of human body, the art of diagnosis and the science of healing, always remember the essence of your journey. That is extremely important. As you are told, you will be going into the hospital, you will be slowly starting the clinics, and the clinics will be based on what you are going to learn in the anatomy, physiology, and biochemistry. So it's extremely important that when you interact with the patients, they will place your trust in you. You are budding students, you are budding doctors, you are students, but for them, you are the doctors. Make sure that your responsibility to treat each encounter with utmost respect and empathy. That is very important. You also have to go beyond the classroom. You've already been told, take every opportunity to immerse yourself in the diverse experiences of this institute, this college, this city, and this part of the world. Embrace the richness of patient interactions, delve into research which has already been communicated by a deemed research. Engage in community service. You'll slowly come into especially when you are posted in the preventive and social medicine, you'll come into this part of it. And I'm very sure that when you get engaged into it, you'll find it is a totally different, interesting experience. This is very important that you all sitting here just now mentioned about the Golden Jubilee batch and the Silver Jubilee batch. Collaboration and camaraderie will be your strongest allies amongst you in your batch. Forge meaningful connections. This is very important. And with your peers, your classmates, and there will be a lifelong support. Together, you will inspire and challenge one another to reach greater heights. And that is what is very important. You have a very healthy competition amongst yourselves, and all of you have excelled very well in the examination and come here. So I'm very sure that when you go into that sort of environment, you will excel very well in your field. This is very important. You have to be very curious. Medicine is a dynamic field, constantly changing. As far as surgery is concerned, earlier we used to do open surgery. Then you must have heard about something called as keyhole surgery, or we call it as laparoscopic surgery. And now you must have heard something called as robotic surgery. So 100 years from 1885 to you can say 1985 or 1990, 100 years it was open surgery, 10, 15, 20 years it was laparoscopic surgery, and quickly now it has switched over to robotic surgery. That does not mean everything is done by laparoscopy or robotic, but what I'm trying to see, just to give an example of surgery, how the things have changed and evolved. So when you become consultants, senior consultants, you do not know exactly how things will change, then right. should never shy away from asking questions. Your classes have started, you have foundation course. This is what is extremely important. More learning is there from interactive discussions rather than having a didactic one-way receiving the knowledge. And it's also important that pushing your own boundaries of understanding should be always carried out. Be open to lifelong learning. It's not that once you finish your MBBS, all of you are aware of that. I don't have to tell you that's not the end of the journey, graduation, post-graduation, and further learning. But even if you have got all your degrees and all those things, and if you feel that your learning is over, and I'm expert, I just now give an example. You will not be switching from open surgery to laparoscopic surgery, from laparoscopic surgery to robotic surgery. And there is a possibility that you, over a period of time, you may be left behind. So that's why it's important that it's just an example I'm giving you. It's very important that you keep on changing and evolving with the system. As you walk through these walls and enter the world of medicine, always remember the impact of your actions. Your dedication, knowledge, and kindness will touch countless lives. That is extremely important. If you think that you can just learn through the books, if you think that you can just learn by looking at the patients, examining the patient, getting knowledge, that will not make you a good doctor. So let your passion for healing and your dedication to the well-being of others be a guiding light in this incredible journey. As I said, if you immerse yourself, it's a vocation, immerse yourself in this particular profession, in this course, in this hospital, eat, drink, and drink as if you are going to go into the course. That is what is the corporate policy. If you see anybody who is working in a corporate for some time, they eat, drink, and drink that particular, you can say whatever they are selling or this. So they become so good in that is what should happen to you when you join into this course. Little bit about brief about the course. You are all familiar with it. It's a 4.5 years course. In the first year, you have these three subjects: anatomy, physiology, and biochemistry, which will go on for 1 year. You have joined now, so this will be at the end of first year. You will have the exam for this. Next year, this thing will be 1.5 years. So you have 4 subjects there: pharmacology, microbiology, pathology, and forensic medicine. Then you have a pre-final year. That is ophthalmology, preventive and social medicine. And in the final year, you have medicine, surgery, obstetrics, gynecology, and pediatrics. So that's how you finish the course. I don't want to show this slide, but just I'm putting it for information. Okay, it's just a baseline, and I'm very sure and confident that you're not going to do something like this, that you look for attendance which is 75%. So I want all of you to have very good attendance. As I said, when you immerse in something, you're told very much that when you get accustomed to hard work, you will not feel about it. So that is what it should be. You should have a very good and very high attendance. It's not a question of picking the attendance, it's a question of learning and getting the knowledge. That is what, that hunger should be there in you, and that should take you to the class and not for marking the attendance. If this is done properly, then automatically the assessment, internal assessment of marks, whatever you feel, whatever you say, that will happen. If the first thing happens, that will lead to second, and the second thing happens, that will lead to the third. So if you do very well in the classes, you attend the classes, you absorb the knowledge, you gain it, you enjoy. If you enjoy studying, there is nothing like it, and all the other things will follow. This is a ragging-free campus. All of you should be well aware about it. All of you should be vigilant about it, and all of you should be open about it to report and let us know if you have any problem. Any problem, absolutely. There are lots of people around you. You have people who are consultants. You will have people who are your friends. Many of you must be knowing the seniors here. And we have different contact numbers. These are just few numbers and few people I have put here, but you will be having, if you go to the hospitals, all the details will be present. And if you have any difficulty at point, don't suppress the feelings, and you should tell us. This is what is the punishment we have, and as I said, it's very strict. So be open, be free, and interact with us. And I'm very sure none of you will face any of these problems. We have this legal cell for Northeast students also, people who have come from there, and Professor Pampa Roy is the professor of pathology who's in charge. And she has a chamber here itself in this building. So any of you people who are coming from the northeastern states, any difficulty, any communication, you can always communicate with her or with our associate deans, or any difficulty is there, you're free to meet me regarding that. Many of you have taken up the hostel and you have to follow the rules, pay the fees on time and go to the manual. And this is general information, it's already been told to you that when you are becoming a doctor, it's very important that you should look like a doctor. That's very important. The general etiquettes, everything should be followed. And the other things already mentioned there, and it has been already told that we have co-curricular activities. We have a anthropology festival, which is known as Pandan. And it's literary and debating. Then you have fine arts and you have sports in that, and that is going to be conducted at the end of this month. And I'm very sure all of you can actually participate in that and be a part of it. We have a student welfare center. There's a board there. All the details are put onto that. And any of you, any difficulty, the most important thing is that you feel free to contact us. Okay. Unless and until you come forth with your problems, it will be very difficult for us to know if somebody has any difficulty. And as I've been told earlier, you must constantly interact with your parents also. In the initial phase, it's extremely important and necessary that you interact with your parents and you have a big interface of foster parents here in the form of faculty with whom also you should interact. So that's very necessary and that's a must in the initial phase, because always when you go to a new place, new institute, where everything is new, some teething problems, some settlement problems will always be there. Nobody is immune to that, but everything can be adjusted and everything can be overcome. So that is what you should remember, and that is what is necessary. So once again, I welcome you all to this noble pursuit. The world awaits your brilliance, your compassion. I am very sure, as I said, Professor Durai Rajan is here, one of the alumni of this institute. He did the first robotic surgery in the world. So he is a student of JIPMER. And one of the points which has not been mentioned here, I'll mention that three people who are sitting on the stage, Professor Durai Rajan, Professor Thapa, and me, all our children have studied here in this institute, and they were MBBS students from this institute. So you feel free, as I said, you are like them to us. You are also are like our children. So that is very, very important. That connect has to happen. If the connect does not happen, I'm not saying that will not happen with many of the students. It will happen with most. But there could be some people who might be a little introvert, who might be a little reserved. When you study quite a lot, sometimes that sort of habit they inculcate. So come out of it, meet everybody, have a good interface, be open, talk to your friends, make friends very quickly in your batch. That is what is necessary. And again, I would like to congratulate you, and may your time here be the beginning of a very remarkable journey with profound learning and fulfillment. Thank you very much for your time.
The one person in the JIPMER, very difficult to describe, multitasking, much faster than student, very friendly. Suddenly you will see him in the campus, behind you. He'll give you surprises at any place, anytime. Our academician, researcher, hepatologist, medical gastroenterologist, and the true leader and visionary, none but our director.
Good morning, everyone.
Sorry, I'm somewhat unwell, so I decided to wear a mask. So I'm not to transmit it. The virus community. Dignitaries who are on the dais or who are sitting in front. Dear students and parents who are online. Some of what I'm going to say is going to be repetition. But then by now you know, you're familiar with your mothers and fathers. They keep repeating the same thing. That's the job of the elders. And so that might happen, but we'll try and keep that to the minimum. So we, the institutions and teachers, look forward to every year like a farmer looks forward to a particular season. He prepares the field, gets the seed or gets the small plants which he transplants and waits for them to grow into a crop. That's exactly what we have every year around this time of the year. We wait for small plants to come that we can transplant, and 5.5 years later, we have a new crop ready. That's supposed to be our job. So not only were you very eagerly looking forward to an admission to a medical college, I can tell you, even more than you, we were looking for you people to join us. So you are welcome. We welcome you, we congratulate you and your parents, and we look forward to working with you for 5.5 years and maybe much longer for many of you. And we will hope that at the end of it, we have excellent products. And I'm sure for most people that will be good. Next, please. Okay. So, a bit of JIPMER history that you should know. The institution was actually traces its history to 1863, when a college of medicine in Pondicherry was set up by the French. And then but it was training people who were health workers. It was not really training doctors. And it was in 1956 when Government of India took over the territory from the French, that a medical college was created. It was called the Dhanvantri Medical College. And then the construction of this campus started, and it was inaugurated in 1964 by the then President of India, Dr. Radhakrishnan. And since Pandit Nehru had just passed away in 1963, the institution was named after him as Jawaharlal Nehru Institute of Postgraduate Medical Education and Research. So these three are the limbs of the tripod that medical institutions are: teaching, patient care and research, and our Dean Research, Dean Academic, and MS have talked to you about these, and I'll try to talk about some other things, though I know that they have also touched on those. So we talk about teaching. Yes, that is our primary job. That's your primary goal, to learn more. But at the same time, we want you to do other activities. We want you to play. It doesn't apply only to boys, also applies to girls. It also applies to Jill, not only to Jack. We have lots of playgrounds where we want you to play. We encourage an active lifestyle. For boys and girls, there are separate gyms. Till now, they were not air conditioned, but right now I can tell you that air conditioning is in process, and very soon this should actually be even air conditioned. So we expect you to lay emphasis on your physical development, not only on knowledge and mental development. We have a huge stadium, maybe some of you have already seen, and we have a swimming pool. So we have everything possible for you people to engage in many other physical activities, co-curricular activities. We have some interesting plants around the campus. We have, for those of you who are interested in birds, we have some very interesting birds. Those of you who wake up early, it's a fun to walk around the campus in the morning. The kinds of chirping that you hear, different types in different areas, is, to me, it's very exhilarating, and I'm sure some of you would find that. So people have talked about it, and we are soon going to have this cultural and literary and sports festival. It's an annual feature of JIPMER, happens in early September. This year we are starting in end of August, right? Sir? Right? Yeah, so it overlaps. Some days will be in August and some days will be in September. And we have teams coming from other institutions, and we have JIPMER team, and we have cultural activities and our debates, literary activities, and some of our students really excel in this. And those of you who have those skills or wish to develop those skills, I strongly encourage you to do this. And Dr. Thapa has already talked to you about another event in the first half of the year called Convocation. It's a research conference that the students organize. And we have many other things. So we used to have TED Talks. They haven't started post the pandemic. I'm sure they will this year. And we have had music sessions for those of interested in classical music. So this is a Stick Mackey session, the Society for Promotion of Indian Classical Music and Culture among Youth. Those of you who are interested, please contact the dean. They were interested. Last week also we got a letter, and those of you who may be interested, we would like to do that. And of course, people have talked about the city. Some parts of Pondicherry look exactly as if you are in France. That's the beach road. Maybe some of you already visited. And then they can be very beautiful scenes. But the only unfortunate part is for that you have to wake up early. You can't get to see this in Pondicherry at sunset time. You have to go for sunrise, and it can be very, very beautiful. And as Dr. Lata said, but I must emphasize, the sea in this part of the country is very rough. And we want you to take all precautions and be very careful. Don't go there alone. Don't wade in too much into water. It can be very sudden drop of the land beneath the water surface, and there can be, you can be taken away. So you really need to be very cautious. And many places, whatever signs are put up, you have to be cognizant of those, and you need to pay attention to them. So let me change gears somewhat and tell you what the next 5.5 years are going to be. As you've joined JIPMER this week, most of you are 17 to 18-year-old young girls and boys. And in about 5 years, when you pass out, you'll be 23 to 24, and you will pass out as professionals, as doctors, very different from what you are today. And this means we have to bring about an enormous transformation in you. Can anyone of you guess what this is? Okay, let me tell you, and you can verify this on Wikipedia. This is gold powder, pure gold powder. If you take gold, put it in aqua regia, I suppose some of you still remember your chemistry, and then take it out, this is what you would get. And you really need to heat it so as to get the shining gold. Pure gold is, so that's the kind of change that we'll have to do in you. So the next 5 years are going to be very hectic and stressful, and some of you will need support. And so Dr. Durayarajan has already said that the biggest lie that anybody has ever told you has been your parents, who said, "Beta, do the 12th class well, get into a medical college, and then your life is made." I'm sorry, that was the biggest lie. But then some lies have to be told. I wouldn't say that I didn't lie to my daughter. I'd also told her that get into an engineering college, whatever you wish to do, and then after that life is going to be easy. But I can also tell you other way around, she chose that instead of medicine, thinking that medicine was too busy and you had to work on the weekends. And then she's an engineer, and now she has to work on the weekends, and she realizes that basically that's what life is. We have to work, and we have to work hard. As has been said, you'll find a different culture, you'll be exposed to different languages, you may not initially be able to understand what is being done, what is being spoken, food will be different, and the friends that you had back home, in school, amongst neighbors, you would lose them. I know these days it's become easier to keep in touch with them through WhatsApp, through phone, but still you will find that the relationships that you had, some of them will dwindle. And you will be away, many of you will be away from home for the first time. So there will be homesickness, there will be loneliness, you'll miss your parents, you'll miss your younger or older siblings, you'll miss your cousin. And secondly, till now, people were very closely supervising you. Teachers took spent much more time with each of you. And we don't like to do that. We think by this time people are mature enough and therefore they need much less supervision, and you are not going to get that unless you ask for it. If you ask for more help, surely we will give you. But otherwise, they believe in students exploring themselves and learning themselves. And obviously there will be periodic examinations, there will be class tests, there will be, and the frequency of that may be more than what you had in school or college. There will be additional sources of stress. And that's something that is typical of institutions such as JIPMER that are at the top of the medical pyramid. We tend to get students who are the best in each institution, each school. So many of you would have been top rankers in your class, and that's why you are here. However, once you come here, obviously everybody cannot be a top ranker. I'm not saying that you shouldn't try to be a top ranker, try. But remember, the cutoff now is much lower. You are fine even if you are in the top half. That's possibly the definition compared to what you are wanting to do in school, being in the top 3. So that definition has changed, and many of you will not be able to be class toppers. That is not something that should worry you. What is important is that you are learning. That is the most important part. If you are learning, if you are not in the class top, that's perfectly fine. That's one way of reducing stress. Your schedule will be hectic. There will be a lot of classes, a lot of examination, but that doesn't mean that you give up on your hobbies or leisure activities. Also, maybe not in the first year as much. Later, as you go to the clinical side and you have to take care of sick people, that by itself can sometimes be very stressful. That's not something that we are used to. But so that's another thing that you need to do. So here are a few pieces of advice. I'm going to repeat some of what my predecessors on this dais have said. So firstly, as I said, think the idea is not just to gain knowledge, but to become a well-rounded, excellent professional. For that, you need to have other skills. You need to be in touch with your hobbies and interests. You possibly need to cultivate other interests, even if you don't have them, because maybe at that time there was no opportunity or your parents didn't allow you to do that. You can take to sports, music, yoga now, even if you have not been doing it earlier. The JIPMER Students Association has many clubs. You can join them. Some of them are into social service, some of them are into literary activities, some are into photography, and you could do that. My sincere request to you is to avoid using social media. It's fine to be in touch with your parents, to be in touch with your close friends, but spending too much time on it is actually non-productive and is going to increase your stress. A lot of what comes on social media is not necessarily true. At young age, it may be very difficult for you to distinguish between what is correct and what is not on the social media. Instead, have a social circle, a physical circle, friends with whom you can sit together, you can chat, you can do things face to face. That gives you a much better appreciation of what can be believed and what cannot be believed. Those relationships are the ones that are going to last, not the relationships that are on social media. Do I need to repeat anything here? I'll let you read this. So it's a question of time management. Divide your time. A day has 24 hours. 7 to 8 hours will go in class. You still have 7 to 8 hours will go in sleep, but you still have about 8 hours. And you need to divide them between academic activities and extracurricular activities. The split could vary depending on what time of the year it is, whether you're close to exams or whether you are going through Spandan. So that would change, but you need to do that. I was hoping that my colleagues will talk about it. Nobody did, so I must talk about this. When you are at 17 or 18, you get out of the home, You have full freedom, nobody can watch you. And you heard stories about how college life can be. A proportion of students take to smoking, alcohol, or drugs. I can tell you, they're easier to begin, they're very difficult to get rid of. They may appear to reduce stress in the short term. You have exams and you smoke and you feel that relieves your stress. But that's very temporary, very transient. And you need to understand that in the long run, habit is going to increase. You may right now smoke a cigarette a day, but it will gradually increase and it's not something that's going to be good for you in the long run. So please, 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 this is something that we as medical professionals need to understand better. And you would find that even among faculty, you wouldn't find many smokers, you wouldn't find people who consume too much alcohol. And that's what we expect you to emulate and do. You'll need to learn communication skills. You'll need to have different communication skills for dealing with your colleagues, with seniors, with faculty, with patients, and with younger people. Your communication needs to be clear, concise, meaning small sentence should be able to say everything precise, something that's not capable of being misinterpreted. You need to become confident. You need to learn how to respond. If somebody sends you a message, you are supposed to respond within a certain amount of time. You do that rather than evade responding. You need to learn respect for others, respect for other viewpoints, respect for other languages, respect for other foods. If you don't like a particular kind of food in the mess, and that comes from another region of the country, you don't say, terrible food. You just keep that to yourself. You need to show respect to others. You need to learn empathy. And these skills, this is the best time to develop. When you are younger, you can learn newer things much better than once you become older. You can't learn these skills once you become residents, or you can't learn them that effectively. So this is the time to learn this. I have some requests to the parents who are online, and that is, I would request you that we are trying to do everything possible, but that's not entirely possible for us. For us to know each child, each student well, and to be able to find out who's in a problem is very difficult. However, if you keep in touch with your sons and daughters, possibly on phone calls rather than on WhatsApp messages, so that you talk to them, talking helps you understand whether they are in stress. From the voice, it will be clear to you, and that is much better. And we expect you to do this, because without that, if something is going wrong, if the student is upset, if the child is upset, it's very difficult to make out. And we rely on you to be in touch with the children, with your wards, so that if anything is there, you can come here, talk to them, or you can let us know and we can then take care. So you need to provide them support that you have done the initial years of their life. That has to continue. It's useful to also know who are 2 or 3 friends of your child, because then in that case, if you are not being able to reach a child, then you know whom to reach out to. Also, maybe the friends can advise you, friends can let you know if something is going wrong with your child, and they may be able to tell you that he is anxious, he is stressed, he is depressed. Also, if you have a local guardian, then please ask the child to be in touch, and ask the local guardian to be in touch. Ragging has already been talked about, so I will not repeat. And I've intentionally kept this, and I request all of you, including the parents, to please note down these numbers. I'll stop for 10 seconds so that you can take a picture if you wish with a phone. So there is a student counseling center in this building on the 3rd floor, which opens Monday to Friday, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. If you are stressed, if you are anxious, if you are depressed, we have counselors there. Talk to them. If you think you have a friend who's not going for counseling but needs, please walk up to them and inform them. Walk up to the dean. Okay. So you can, sorry, if you haven't noted, I'll leave it to you. So the lower one is the student counseling center on the 3rd floor, and the upper one is actually for all residents, MD students, faculty, and all staff members. So if that doesn't work, please walk up to the Dean Academic. That's your first contact point, and the associate deans whom we introduced to you, and Dean Research, Medical Superintendent. If that doesn't work, walk up to my office. And we may not be able to correct everything, but we'll surely promise that we treat you as best. Medical education is different. The society views medical students very differently. They will think of you, they will treat you as if you're doctors. When you're walking through the hospital, when you're walking through the campus, they'll tell you, call you doctor. Really feel nice. Also, we treat you very differently compared to any other hostel where there is a night curfew for girls or even for boys. We don't have that. We expect people to be much more confident. We expect people to be much more responsible. But then we also expect something in return from you. And I think Lata has talked about it. So I'm quoting a scientific study. People asked patients to look at these 4 pictures and said, how would you like your doctor to be dressed? And no doubt, the second dress was the one that most people favored. They expect you to be formally dressed. They expect you to be wearing a white coat. So that is what other people try to tell you, and I am trying to read this. So discipline is important. Professor Kate referred to the hostel discipline and some other discipline. We look at attendance, we look at internal assessment. You can look at it as trying to type monitor, but at the same time, you can look at internal assessment as something useful. As I told you, in your whole professional, 40% marks are decided based on internal assessment and 60% are the marks for the final exam. Now, if in that 40, you have 75%, which means 30, now of the remaining 60, you need to get only 20 marks to pass. So you can look upon this as a positive thing, and that's what we expect you to do. So something more things about discipline. We surely love to take care of our students, but surely not as patients in the emergency. And many people do end up in the emergency, and that's not something we like. And that's because they drive rash, they don't wear helmets, they try to talk on the phone while driving, and that's not something we expect you to do. People expect us to be more responsible and behave more responsibly and legally correctly. Pondicherry traffic is different. Some people from Pondicherry may not agree with me. As far as I am concerned, it is fairly rash, it is fairly disorganized. People driving on the wrong side of the road is very common. To some extent, it happens everywhere, but it does happen much more here. So please be careful if you drive, whether you drive or you are on the pillion, please be careful. You need to be cautious. Also, something that my seniors told me the day I joined my medical school, always carry your ID card in your pocket. So that just in case you are caught somewhere in a problem, people can identify who you are. And sometimes an identity card of JIPMER showing that you belong to this institution can get you out of difficult situations if people realize that you belong to JIPMER. That's the name JIPMER carries in the city. But at the same time, we rely on you to keep the JIPMER flag high so that that name does not get spoiled. So where do we want to see you in another 5 years? The convocation, where people come and get degrees, awards, that's where we want to see you. All the best, congratulations, welcome, and we hope that you will follow what my colleagues and I have tried to talk to you about. Thank you. None.
Thank you, sir. As sir said, and also we have to have a respect to your teacher, have gratitude, be thankful. Of course, we will also say thanks to everyone. And for that, I would like to invite Professor Rakhi, Associate Dean, to give vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. The conduct of any event or ceremony, it is incomplete without the acknowledgement of people involved who have put in great efforts to make it successful. Good morning to all present here. On behalf of our Dean Academics and Academic Team JIPMER, I take pride in carrying out this important duty of proposing the vote of thanks. To begin with, I would like to thank our beloved director, Professor Rakesh Agarwal, who has taken time off his busy schedule to join us today and address this august gathering with his words of wisdom and motivation. Thank you, sir. Also, I take this opportunity to thank our medical superintendent, Professor L. N. Durarajan, Dean Research, Professor T. M. Thapa, our dynamic student advisor, Professor Lata Chaturvedula, who all are and have been collectively great supporters of student welfare. I also thank the faculty of JIPMER, who will be the ones playing very important roles in shaping the students, you students, into great leaders and disciplined, responsible doctors of the future. I also express my gratitude to the JIPMER IT team for their technical support with all the audiovisual aids and creating the YouTube link for live telecast of today's ceremony, and also for the recordings of the invocation song and national anthem. A word of appreciation to the departments of horticulture and the community hall for providing the beautiful flower arrangement and the Kuttuvalukku for the light ceremony. Thank you to the staff of academic section and the exam wing who have coordinated to make this event memorable. Now, a special thanks to the proud parents whose love and sacrifice have enabled their wards to great opportunity to pursue the medical studies here at JIPMER, an institute of national importance. Last but not the least, the special people of today's function, our new batch of MBBS students who will now embark on a journey of making doctors of the future, who will treat the distress with honesty, compassion, kindness, empathy, right skills, and knowledge. Thank you.
We have come to the end of the program. That is on the urgent call. We will hold on. Then we will have a national anthem. The vote of thanks delivered by Professor Rakesh. Thank you, madam. We have come to the end of the program. I request you to all of you to rise for the national anthem. Thank you one and all. Please do join with us for tea and snacks. Some of you can come to this side, some of you can go on the back side. Thank you one and all.